Does rosemary oil work? Yes?
Yes?
No?
No?
Maybe.
Come on.
There seems to be a never-ending debate about whether rosemary oil is actually effective for treating hair loss or for hair growth. On one hand, you'll see videos of girls with amazingly long hair attributing it to the miraculous rosemary water or to a particular rosemary oil. And on the other hand, you have experts who've dissected scientific data and shown that the science behind it is not very promising. There are doctors too, however, who stand by rosemary oil, and that was all because of one study which we will get into. But the big question is, does rosemary oil work?
Does rosemary oil work?
Does rosemary oil work?
Since we are speaking about rosemary oil pertinent to hair loss, it is important to understand what exactly is going on in the scalp with hair loss. The average person loses roughly around 50 to 100 hair per day. This will happen whether you like it or not because hair goes through a continuous cycle of anagen, catagen and telogen. That means your hair follicle or hair root will grow new hair. Once it reaches the end of its growth, the dead part will fall off. The hair root will then take some rest and then the cycle will repeat itself. Now, while this number of losing 50 to 100 hair per day might seem like a lot, you need to remember that you have other hair in the growth phase or probably new hair growing to balance this act. Hence, you aren't going completely bald, at least under normal circumstances. But when you see more than normal hair loss, it could be due to stress, an emotional or physical trauma, traction alopecia, which happens when hair is pulled back and styled too tightly. Think about cornrows and tight ponytails. It could be if you're on certain medications like antibiotics or cancer medications, hormonal changes, high levels of dihydrotestosterone, postpartum, which is again attributed to the hormonal changes taking place in the body, genetics, nutritional deficiencies, chronic health conditions like diabetes, alopecia areata, where there are autoantibodies that attack the hair follicle, and there are so many other conditions that could attribute to hair loss. Hence, I always recommend getting to the root cause of the issue. As always, eating whole foods, taking targeted supplements, and supporting whole body health go a long way towards healthy hair. Now that we've identified what possibly could be the problem, then comes the question, what should we do about it? Can rosemary help with all these conditions that I just named? Yes?
Yes?
No?
No?
Maybe.
Come on. Make up your mind.
I say this because there is no clear black and white answer to this question, and I'll explain why. In case you're wondering,
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Sanoba Peza Doctor. I'm a board certified dermatologist practicing integrative and holistic dermatology. And on this channel, we discuss everything related to skincare, hair care, and healthy aging. So if that is something of interest to you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button along with the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any new video that gets uploaded. It's all with valuable information. Promise. Let's look at the touted benefits of rosemary for hair. Rosemary can help by blocking the effects of DHT, that is dihydrotestosterone. This is the type of testosterone that can act on the hair follicles and lead to its shrinkage. It is also considered as a vasodilator. That means it can increase blood circulation to the scalp and stimulates hair growth. More blood flow means more nutrients are reaching the hair root, and thereby you will have healthier follicles. Thus, this can help maintain hair and prevent excess shedding and breakage. It is also found to have antifungal properties, and hence rosemary can help with potential dandruff buildup. Now, rosemary oil essentially came into the limelight when a paper published in 2015 was recently highlighted. This study compared rosemary oil with the gold standard for treatment of androgenetic alopecia, that is minoxidil. Ever since then, the study has been critically scrutinized, and rightfully so, since it does show a lot of promise for rosemary oil as a potential hair growth or hair loss solution, but there are a lot of caveats to this claim. This article gives an excellent breakdown of the entire study and highlights the deficiencies in scientific literature in general. The author has done an excellent job, and I agree with most of what she has shared. But if we keep aside the technical and statistical faults,
Which are unpardonable in scientific papers in my opinion.
but still, if we do. This study's conclusion can be seen under two lenses. The first is the fact that rosemary oil performed as well as the gold standard for treating androgenetic alopecia, that is minoxidil. But then it is important to consider that they compared it to 2% minoxidil. Now 2% concentration of minoxidil was the concentration that was used for the longest time when it was initially launched into the market, that is way back years and decades ago. But today in practice, no one recommends or uses this dosage even when it comes to use of minoxidil for women, since 5% minoxidil has been found to be much more efficacious. In fact, we have 10% formulations now. So if I were a layperson, this would give me an understanding that rosemary does have potential, but it is still no match to the gold standard that we have available for treating a condition like androgenetic alopecia. But this study spoke about just one type of hair loss. Remember, I told you there are so many causes of hair loss in general, so does this mean rosemary can't help with those? I don't think so. Here's my take on the rosemary oil skepticism and debate, and why I say find a balance and use common sense. If we take the example of minoxidil, and this is just an example, but as with all pharmaceutical drugs, the number of studies and clinical trials, the amount of time and money invested in researching the molecule was because ultimately, like at the base of it, a company had potential gain to make. Hence, one started it, and with the herd mentality always prevalent, the rest follow. But does this mean I don't believe that minoxidil actually works? That's not true. I have seen the results with my own eyes and with the trichoscope, of course. So when it comes to rosemary or rosemary oil, do I believe that since it does not have strong clinical data to support it, I do not think it is helpful? Absolutely not. This is because I tried it on myself and various patients willing to trust me, and I have evaluated the before and after myself to see that it can offer benefits. I haven't conducted a clinical trial per se to actually share the results, but I trust what I see and know. And you can trust me, at least a little. I never share unless I have enough experience. I'm a trained hair transplant surgeon and have been part of hair clinics where we have individually seen almost 30 to 40 to 50 patients of hair loss a day sometimes. So when it comes to matter of the hair, I'm pretty confident about what I see. In fact, my research thesis during residency was on hair loss. Not trying to prove anything here, but just sharing this for you to understand where my experience and expertise comes from. Also, when it comes to scientific literature, I don't trust everything I read and always take the results with a pinch of salt. Now, this is a completely different topic in itself, but because I have conducted a lot of studies and been a part of a lot of studies myself, I know that there can be a lot of variability and a lot of factors that need to be addressed and taken into account for. Also, have you noticed that negative research, in the sense a study that shows that something does not work, is generally not published or spoken about? But that is equally important to know, isn't it? The point that I'm trying to make is that there can never be a one-size-fits-all for anything, because there are so many variables that need to be considered. Your individual body, your body's needs and demands, which will change from time to time, seasons, the weather, your genetics, the epigenetics that controls each one of us individually, the ingredient itself, the formulation or extraction of the ingredient, its source, the consistency of its use, and much, much more. Just as one man's food is another man's poison, the same is true for any ingredient or any product that you use over your skin and hair. When you see me or anyone else recommend a particular product or an ingredient, you need to first understand whether it is something that you truly need and whether it can truly help you. This is why it is very important to always discuss with your dermatologist or healthcare provider so that you can individualize your routine according to your unique self. And this brings us to the thing that I keep repeating in almost every single video, I think, and that is bio-individuality. Now honestly, if I were to choose between using rosemary oil or minoxidil at this point of time, like for myself, and mind you, I'm not trying to correct or reverse androgenetic alopecia or any particular condition per se, but I just want to have healthier, longer hair, and this is the longest length of hair that I've ever had, then my choice would be rosemary oil. This is because I don't need minoxidil at this point, and I'm also aware of its side effect profile. On the other hand, I'm happy with what rosemary oil is doing for me at the present moment. But you do you. Another important thing to keep in mind is that rosemary itself is not your wonder hair loss or hair growth solution, alright? No one single thing ever is or can be, but it can be one of the things in your armamentarium to help you on your journey towards healthy bouncy hair. Also remember that not all rosemary oil formulations are equal or as effective or as safe. So as with everything, consult your doctor, use your common sense, and always check the product for its safety and efficacy. All in all, rosemary is a promising ingredient for hair growth. It's just a matter of the right formulation and using it for the right indication. We also need more good quality research to conclusively prove its effectiveness. Let me know your thoughts if you have any experience with rosemary oil, and feel free to drop down any questions in the comments below. I'll try to answer to the best of my capability. Continue to glow, thrive, and shine as always. Take care. I'll see you soon.